Right. So let me just move him into his basket. There we go. Right, so we're going to start with our setup position as usual. So feet hip width apart, feet parallel, knees nice and soft, so they're not locked. So if you're unsure, just lock the knees and then soften them. So we're just going to start with a rock of the weight over the balls of the feet and then back over the heels, just to find that core engagement. You'll notice that core start to engage as we're rocking forwards, and then bring it back to centre, back over the heels. So just transferring weight through the foot. And then on this next one, find that core engagement. We're going to bring it back to centre, maintaining that core engagement, finding neutral with the pelvis. So hands on the hips, knees stay soft. We're going to we're going to really push that tailbone between the legs, rocking the pelvis backwards and forwards. So just a few pelvic tilts, squeezing that tailbone, engaging through the glutes slightly as we push the tailbone through. And then we're going to find that halfway point. So just slightly tuck the tailbone under, decreasing that arch in the lower spine. And then also drawing up through the pelvic floor. So it feels like we've got a really nice tight corset on. Transverse is engaged. And then draw the crown of the head up to the ceiling. Really lengthen through the spine here. Bring the arms up into full body stretch, but keep that core nice and strong. So reaching for the ceiling. We're just going to slightly extend through the spine. So take an inhale breath. As we inhale, we're going to come backwards, just opening at the front of the body, extending through the spine. And then as we exhale, drawing the ribs back down towards the hips, nice and strong through the core there. So nice inhale breath, gently extend. And then exhale, bring it back to center. Let's just do one more. Nice inhale breath, opening at the front of the body. Take that gaze slightly up towards the ceiling, and then as we exhale, sliding the ribs back down towards the hips, keeping that tailbone tucked under, so nice neutral spine, grabbing hold of one wrist, keeping the hips above the feet. We're just going to take it into a nice gentle side bend, so really lengthening through the side of the body. Try not to jerk the hip out, keep those hips above the feet. Take a nice inhale breath into that stretch, and as we exhale, bring it all back to center. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side, so just grabbing hold of the wrist, gentle pull, keep that tailbone tucked under, feel the length, and then exhale it back to center. Lovely. We're just going to bring the hands to the side of the head, elbows out to the side so we can't see them, and take it into some rotation now. So hip bones stay facing the front. We're just going to exhale through, rotate through the spine, making sure elbows stay out nice and wide, and then bring it back to center. Inhale, breath in the center, exhale it through, rotate, and inhale it back to center. Let's do one more on each side. And back to center, last one. Exhale through, inhale back, well done. Bringing the arms down to the side now, let's just stretch out through the neck. So bringing the top of the left ear up towards the ceiling, feeling that length into the side of the neck. So we're reaching the top of the ear up, and then back to center, and the same on the other side. Top of the right ear, reach, shoulders stay down, anchor those shoulders down, and back to center. In fact, let's do a couple of nice big shoulder rolls there, big circles with the shoulders, and then slide the shoulder blades down and back. Let's take it into our roll down now, so a really nice stretch out through the back of the body. So feet stay hip width apart, tailbone stays tucked under. Inhale, breath to prepare. As we exhale, start to bring the chin towards the chest. Bring the shoulders forwards. We're going to really C-shape the spine now. So rolling it down, keeping that tummy button up towards the spine. And at the bottom, we're going down as far as the hamstrings will allow. Try not to lock the knees out. Feel that lovely stretch into the calf, the hamstrings, lower back. We're just going to flop here. Take some nice deep breaths. As we exhale, see if we can go a little bit deeper into the stretch. And a little bit deeper again. Make a little mental note as to where the hands are in regards to the floor. They might be up near the shins, they might be near the floor. Hopefully you'll be closer to the floor by the end of the class. So we're going to take an inhale breath here. As we exhale, draw the tummy away from the thighs, really drawing in those abdominals. We're restacking the spine. So making a nice C curve with the spine as we come up and back to our neutral again. Tailbone tucked under, roll those shoulders down and back. Let's go down one more time. Inhale breath. As we exhale, chin comes towards the chest, round the shoulders forwards. Tailbone stays tucked under, tummy stays in. Almost like we're reaching over the bar. And at the bottom, like we're dangling over the branch of a tree, making sure the neck muscles are switched off. Allow the head to feel really heavy here. If you struggle to turn the neck muscles off, which some people do, just a little bit of a nod of the head when we're down at the bottom, and then a little bit of a shake of the head now. And then just gently pop the hands to the back of the head, just allow the weight of the hands and the arms just to pull you down a little bit further. And then relax the arms down again. Inhale breath as we exhale. Scoop to me, up and roll back out. Rebuild the spine, one vertebrae at a time. As we come back up and out of that roll down. Nice big shoulder roll at the top. And then we're just going to do a little bit of leg work before we come down on the mat. So we're going to stand with V feet. So we've got a 90-degree angle between the feet. Zipping the legs together, so drawing up through that pelvic floor. We're going to come up onto the tiptoes, take a nice inhale breath, bringing the arms up towards the ceiling, lengthening crown of the head up towards the ceiling as well. Bringing the hands to the side of the head. We're going to stay on the tiptoes if we can. Knees are going to go out, making a nice diamond shape with the legs. And imagine you're sliding the back down a brick wall, so it's a nice slow movement down. Inhale, breath at the bottom. Exhale, pushing up through the balls of the feet, nice and slowly. Crown the head towards the ceiling, and then back down the heels. Relax the arms. Let's do that again. Nice inhale, breath, reaching up towards the ceiling. Imagine somebody's pulling something from the crown of the head up. Come into that double salute position, and take the knees out. Making that nice diamond shape, nice and slowly, just warming up through the quads, sliding down that brick wall, lovely. And then exhale, push back up through the balls of the feet, and then back down to the heels. Relax the arms. Let's do two more of those. Inhale, breath, core stays switched on. Take it to that double, I forgot to come up onto my tiptoes, sorry. And then we're going to travel down. Sliding down that wall, cores on, challenge the balance here. Coming up nice and slowly as we went down, exhaling, pushing up, reach, bring those heels back down. Last one, inhale, breath, nice and tall, up onto your tiptoes, sorry, forgot that bit again. Double salute, traveling down. Warm up those quads as deep as we can, knees out to the side. Inhale, breath down here. Exhale, pushing up. Zipping the legs together and bring the heels back down. Well done. Let's take it to the end of our mat now. We're going to take it into a tabletop pose before we get down to the floor. So again, feet hip width apart, tailbone tucked under, full body stretch first. Take an inhale breath. As we exhale, pushing the weight back over the heels as we hinge from the hips, keeping the arms framing the face, spine stays nice and long. Feel that stretch into the hamstrings there. We're going to hold for 3 breaths. 2 and 1. Soften through the knees, bring the hands down to the floor. We're going to take about 3 steps out with the hands. into a downward dog position. So not all the way into plank. 1, 2, 3. Making sure wrists are underneath shoulders. Pushing back into the heels, bringing the head through the arms. Get that nice stretch into the calf. And then taking it up onto the tiptoes, weight over the wrists, and rocking forwards and backwards. So just lengthening through the calf, bring the heels back down, up, hips nice and high towards the ceiling. So that's level 1. Level 2, we're going to stay up on tiptoes, transfer the weight over towards the wrists, so the top of the head's facing the floor. We're going to work a shoulder press now. So we're going to come down as we inhale, bending through the elbows, crown of the head towards the floor, and then exhale as we push back up, staying on the tiptoes. So inhaling as we come down, working those shoulders, exhale as we push back up. So that's your level 2. Work the shoulders, inhaling down, exhale, pushing back up. Hips stay nice and high. Let's go for 2 more. Oh, nice. Last one, inhale it down. Exhale, push back up. And then we're going to walk it out into full plank. So coming down the mat, wrists underneath shoulders, bottom level with the body. So just waking up the whole body, engaging through the quads, engaging through the glutes. We're just going to hold this plank for 4, 3, nice solid plank, shoulders nice and strong. 3, 2, and 1. Gently bring the knees down onto the floor. Have a sit back into the heels, really lengthen through the spine, lengthen through the arms here. Take some nice deep breaths. As we breathe in through the nose, really fill the back and the side of the lungs, get that stretch across the rib cage. And a nice exaggerated exhale breath. Let's take a walk around to one side with the hands, keeping the tailbone near the heels, taking it into a nice side bend stretch. One hand on top of the other. Feel that stretch. I'm going to move my camera. Just enjoy that stretch for a few seconds. Nice. And then walking back through the center, back over to the other side. One hand on top of the other. Keep the tailbone towards the heels. And then bringing it back to center. We're just going to come up onto all fours. Wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're just going to turn the toes underneath and take it up into a few little knee hovers. So making sure we're pushing the floor away, shoulders are engaged. Take an inhale breath here, and we're going to exhale, hover the knees up above the mat. We're going to hold for 4 breaths, keeping that spine nice and long, keeping the abs in. 3, imagine we're balancing a tray of drinks on the spine. 2, and 1, really waking up the core there. Bring the knees back down to the floor. So that's level 1. Level 2, we're going to come up, hover the knees, balance that tray of drinks, and then we're going to bring the right knee over towards the left elbow. So exhale as you bring it over, pop the knee back underneath the hip. Travel the left knee to right elbow, squeezing across the waist. 1 more to each side. And last one, don't spill those drinks. Knee back underneath the hip and pop the knees back down on the floor. Let's do that 1 more time. So it's either a hold or bring the knee over. Inhale, breath. Shoulders stay nice and strong. Exhale, hover. Take an inhale breath. Exhale, right knee over. Try to keep the hips nice and still. Exhale. Left knee over. Last ones. And last one. Exhale it through. Lovely. Bring that knee back underneath the hip. Place the knees back down onto the floor. Sit it back into the heels. Quick breather before we move on to the glute work. We're going to concentrate on right glute first. So coming back up onto all fours. Nice and strong through the shoulders. Cores engaged, so bring the tummy button up towards the spine. We're going to slide the right leg as far away as we can, keeping the hips level. So engaging through that right quad as well, locking that leg out. Inhale, breath, without any movement from the hips, we're going to exhale, squeeze from that right glute, bring the leg level with the body. We're just going to hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we're going to lift that leg higher than the hips, squeezing that right glute and lower. So it's a very small movement, squeeze and lower. Squeeze and lower, making sure the hip stays square. We're not arching through the spine. Pause on. Squeeze and lower. Squeeze. Let's go for 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring the leg back level with the body. We're going to bend through the knee now, flexing through the ankle and try and push the heel up towards the ceiling. We're going for 8, 7, 6, try not to arch the back, 5, 4, 3, 2, push the floor away with the hands, and 1. Nice. Bring the knee level with the body. Extend the leg, and then we're going to circle. Hello, Arthur. Circling that foot, drawing dinner plate size circles with the foot. Let's go for 4 more in this direction. 3, 2, and 1. Take the circles back in the opposite direction. Keep those hips square. Keep that spine straight. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Bring the knee back down to underneath the hip. Have a little sit back into the heels. That's the right glute woken up. Have a step forward with the arms as well there. Lengthen out the arms. Bit of a circle of the wrists if you need to. And then we've not quite finished with the right glute. So I want you to come down onto your left hand side. So your right leg's on top. We're going to do some oblique work first though with some side planks. So bringing the elbow underneath the shoulder, shoulder away from the ear. So push the floor away. So you've got a nice strong triangle between the hip, the waist and the mat. So level one side plank, we're coming up from the knees. So keeping that shoulder nice and strong. Inhale breath as we exhale. We're going to lift up the hips as high as we can, reach the arm into the air, level with the shoulder and hold for 4, 3, nice deep breaths, 2, and 1, and gently bring the hips back down to the floor, level 1. Level 2, top legs coming out as well. So we're going to exhale, lift those hips nice and high, squeeze it towards the ceiling, holding for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and bring it back down. Level 3, full side plank, so extend both legs, top leg in front, the bottom leg, inhale breath, shoulder stays nice and strong as we exhale, lift those hips up nice and high, so take it at your level. We're going to add in a twist now. So bring this top hand into salute, and then we're going to bring the shoulders square for 3, and back, 2, exhale it through, and 1. Elbow back up towards the ceiling, and bring the hips down nice and gently. So take it at your level, either from the knees or from the feet. So we're going to do 3 more reps of that. Inhale, breath. Exhale, coming up. Hips nice and high. Imagine they're in a hoist, pulling you up towards the ceiling. Salute. You don't have to do the twist. We can just hold if you like. 3, 2, and 1. So you should be feeling that in your obliques. And then gently bring the hips back down. So 2 more reps. Ooh. Inhale, breath. Exhale, coming up. Hips nice and high. Into our salute so we can hold or twist. Shoulders square. For 3, 2. That's not very convenient, Arthur. 1. And then bring the hips down. Last one. Inhale, breath. Exhale it up. This is the last one. Salute and rotate. 3, 2, and 1. Elbow back up. Hips come back down. Let's just move him. Sorry. John's got a meeting in the house and he kicked him out. So staying on our left-hand side. Bit of glute work now. So coming all the way down onto our side for this one. You can bring the head into the hands as long as the hips are square, one on top of the other. Core switched on, so a little bit of daylight between the waist and the mat if we can. Keep that waist lifted. Feet in line with the bottom. We're going to work clam. We're going to do a bit of a glute medley on this right glute now. So hips stay nice and still. We're just going to open up the hip without rolling back on the hips. So we're just staying square. Both hip bones stay facing the front. So exhale, squeeze that leg up. Inhale, lower it back down. Exhale it up. Inhale, lower. Lovely. Let's go for 2 more of these. Just working every muscle in the bottom slightly differently. And then bring the knees together. We're going to slightly elevate the feet now to be able to open up that hip a little bit more. So really squeeze it open as high as you can without rolling back on that hip. And then control back down. Squeeze up. And lower. So externally rotating, squeeze. And then internally rotating that leg. Let's go for 3 more. 1. 2. And this next one we're going to hold open, really engaging through that right glute. We're going to extend the leg away and hold. If we can, try and turn the kneecap and the top of the foot a little bit more up to towards the ceiling. We're going to hold it there for 8, 7, 6. You should be feeling that in the glute now. 5, 4. Core still switched on. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the heels back together and then bring the knees back together. Well done. Bring the feet down onto the floor. We're going to shuffle up a little bit higher with the knees. So the knees are in line with the hips. We've got a 90-degree angle in the knee. Again, core switched on. We're going to deadlift this top leg now. So foot and knee need to stay at the same level. So we're taking it to just above hip level and then inhaling it back down, controlling it back down. Exhale, lift. And then inhale, lower. So it's not a massive movement at all. Don't come up too high there. Making sure those hips are nice and still. You should definitely be feeling it in the outside of that right glute now. exhale, squeeze that leg up. Inhale, lower back down. Perfect. That looks good, everyone. And lower. Next one, we're going to hold. So lifting the knee to just above hip level, making sure that foot stays in line with the knee. I'll just put my hands here so you can see. We're just going to do some very small circles. Feel like you've got cramp coming into that right glute. So let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to circle it back in the opposite direction. Nearly done. 4, 3, ouchie, ouch, 2, and 1, and bring the knee back down, bring the foot back down. Give the bottom a good punch or whatever you need to do. We're then just going to work a bit of sideline spinal rotation. If anyone's got a cushion here, it can be quite handy for under the head. I forgot to bring one over. If you haven't, don't worry though. We're just going to shuffle up so the shoulders are stacked now, bringing that bottom arm out underneath level with the shoulder. Relaxing the head and neck down. We're going to take it into spinal rotation. Take a nice inhale breath, bring the arm up level with the shoulder. We haven't started our rotation yet. Arm needs to stay level with the collarbone. So think about rotation through the spine and try to aim to get the shoulder blades as close to the floor as we can here. Really opening up through the chest. Nice stretch into the pecs. Just enjoy that stretch for a couple of breaths. And then on the next exhale breath, engaging through the core, we're going to bring that arm back, up, and over. Bringing the hands back together. Bring the hands together, take an inhale breath. As we exhale, we're just going to slide that top hand as far away from the body as we can. Enjoy that stretch for a few seconds. We're then going to come back together with the hands and roll it onto our backs. Starting with some core work now. So bringing the spine down. Again, we're going to find that neutral spine position. So tuck that tailbone under. So we're going to slide the ribs down towards the hips, pushing the spine down into the floor, really engaging through that corset muscle. We're going to keep the spine lengthened along the floor, so abs stay on all the time. As we exhale, first leg to tabletop position without any lift from the spine there. Exhale, second leg up to tabletop position. So core's working really hard to keep that spine in imprint. We're going to bring the arms up above the shoulders, anchor the shoulders down into the floor. So we're just going to work with the arms first. As we inhale, we're going to bring the arms behind without the ribs popping up, without that spine lifting. So it might not be all the way down to the floor. As we exhale, we're going to really squeeze through the abs as we bring the arms back up towards the ceiling. So it's an inhale breath, arms come behind, really working those core muscles. And exhale, squeeze the arms back up towards the ceiling. Harder than it looks. Inhale it back, making sure that spine stays pressed down into the floor. Exhale, coming back. Let's go for a couple more of those. This is ab prep. We're going to take it into the 100 zoom. You'll be pleased to hear. And last one. Inhale and exhale. Coming back up towards the ceiling. Again, we're going to do that one more time. So inhaling the arms behind the head. And as we exhale this time, we're going to bring the chin towards the chest and bring the shoulder blades up from the floor. Pressing the hands down towards the floor. We're in our 100 position. So we're going to start to hinge from the shoulder, inhaling for 5 pulses, exhaling for 5 pulses. If this is too much on the neck, bring the head and shoulders down towards the floor. So in 2, 3, 4, 5, out 2, 3, 4, 5. Nice deep breaths. If you want to make it a little bit harder, we can lengthen through the legs. Keep that spine pressing down into the floor. Nearly halfway. Halfway there. Nice deep breath. Really strong arms. Imagine we're bouncing a basketball underneath the hands. Work the arms as well. 8. 9. Last 10 pulses. In 2, 3, 4, 5. Out 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. Well done. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Bring the head and shoulders down. Relax the abdominals. Have a little roll around. Well done. Next exercise we're going to work is crisscross. So we're working across the waist, working those obliques again. So we're going to come back into tabletop with the legs, pressing that spine down, engaging through that transverse core muscle, protect that spine, so pushing down to the floor. Arms come back up level with the shoulders, anchor the shoulders down into the floor. So this time, again, inhaling as the arms come behind the head. This time as we exhale, we're bringing the head and shoulders up and we're reaching the arms to one side of the legs. So reaching towards the heel, keeping the hands shoulder distance apart. Inhale it back down and then exhale coming up to the other side. Really squeezing up, bringing the shoulder over and then inhale it back. If you need to, if you want, you don't need to, nobody needs to make it harder. If you want to make it harder, we can lengthen out through the legs as the arms come behind the head. Really challenge the core there. Exhale back to tabletop, reaching for the heels. Just keep that going. Inhale back to center, arms come behind. Exhale, squeeze it through. Nice, Ben. Lovely. Nice, Sheila. Well done, Bex. Squeezing it, that's it, nice. Well done, Linda. All looks very good. Let's go for 2 more to each side. Remember, you can add that stretch of the legs as well. Exhale it through. Inhale as we lengthen. Exhale it through. Really rotating as we do. Last one to each side. I'm just pushing up on that. And last one, make it nice and high with the shoulders. Really reach towards level with the heels. And then bring the head and shoulders back down to the floor. Hug those knees in towards the chest. I'll treat you to a full body stretch as well after that. So bringing the feet down onto the floor. And arms behind the head. And then really pick the spine up from the floor. Really lengthen through the front of the body there. Have a good circle of wrists and ankles as well while we're down there. Sorry, mate, you have to move. So, next exercise, back onto glutes again. So we're going to bring the feet a bit closer to the bottom. Let me just get rid of them together. Not working after. So feet come close to the bottom for this one. We're going to pick up with glutes again. So making sure spines, again, imprinted down to the floor. Knees stay nice and still. Imagine we're balancing 2 glasses of water on each knee. Arms down by the side. So take an inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to lift the pubic bone higher than the hip bone. So really sinking that lower back down into the floor. And then we're going to start to pick the spine up, 1 vertebrae at a time. Keeping that tailbone tucked under, squeezing those hips up towards the ceiling. So a nice straight slope from the knee down to the shoulder. Glutes are on. Take an inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to bring the arms up and over the head. Take a nice deep inhale breath as the arms are overhead. And then as we exhale, we're going to bring the arms back over and slowly place the spine down. One vertebrae at a time. Really concentrate and focus on lengthening the spine down along the mat. Nice and controlled. Bringing the hands back down to the side. Take an inhale breath, we're going again. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, sink that back down before we start to peel the spine up. Keeping that tailbone tucked under, squeeze those hips up, get that nice straight slope. Nice stretch down the hip there as well. Inhale breath, remember those glasses of water on the knees, so nice and steady through the knee. Exhale, bring the arms up and over. We're going to stay here now, and we're going to slightly release, so we're pushing through the heel, and we're going to slightly release the glutes off. So just dipping the hips down slightly and then really contracting the glutes. Push those hips back up. Keep that tailbone tucked under. So it's a dip and a squeeze. Push those hips up towards the ceiling. Let's go for 6 more. Squeeze. Dip and squeeze. 5. Keep both feet down on the floor. Weight through the heels. 4. 3, really squeezing those glutes. 2, and last one, really squeeze both hips up towards the ceiling. Take an inhale breath as we exhale, arms come over and slowly place the spine down, 1 vertebrae at a time. Really try to control that spine back down to the floor. Lovely, let's go for 1 more. Inhale breath. Exhale, tilt the pelvis, start to peel that spine up. Bring the hips up. Nice straight slope if we can, so really squeezing those glutes. Nice straight slope from the knee to the shoulder. Inhale breath, exhale, arms come up and over again. And then we're going to do a little bit of rotation. So we're going to dip 1 hip down towards the floor. So slightly rotating through the spine. And then exhale, squeeze it back up. Coming down to the other side, release off 1 glute and squeeze. So it's like a ship rocking. So it's a slight dip and then push. Dip and push. 4 more. 1. Keep those knees nice and still. 2, nearly there. 3, and squeezing both hips up towards the ceiling. Nice deep inhale, breath to prepare. As we exhale, bringing the arms back over and slowly placing the spine back down. Lovely. And then we're going to take it into a bit of teaser practice. So take a bit of a step away from the bottom, so the feet aren't quite as close to the bottom. Spine spine needs to be still pressed down into the floor. We're then going to lengthen out through the right leg, keeping the thighs parallel, so the legs out to 45 degrees. Working those hip flexors too, so bringing the arms behind the head again. We're going to take an inhale breath. As we exhale, we're going to bring the chin towards the chest, and we're going to try and reach up towards that big toe. If you can get onto the sit bones, great. Lengthen, inhale breath, and then exhale. Slowly start to place the spine back down onto the floor, keeping that right leg out at 45. Inhale breath, exhale, chin to chest, reach, hold on the inhale breath, nice, and then exhale it back down. Lovely. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. Inhale breath, we've got 3 more on this side. Exhale it up, hold. Try and lengthen if we're up on those sit bones, nice. And then slowly, using the core, control it all back down to the floor. Last 2. Deep breath in, exhale, chin to chest. Hold it up, nice. And then slowly control it back down. Perfect, well done. Bring the hands behind the head. Bring that foot down to the floor. We're going to do exactly the same on the other side, so 5 reps. Lengthen through that left leg. thighs are parallel. Take an inhale breath as we exhale, chin comes towards the chest. Reach up towards that big toe, try and get up onto those sit bones, lengthen, lovely. And then control it back down, lovely Jill. Last 4, deep breath in, exhale, chin to chest. Holding at the top for the inhale, and then slowly bringing it back down. Last 3, deep breath in, exhale, chin to chest. Hold, and lower. Last 2, deep breath in, exhale, coming up. Hold, and lower. Last 1, bring those arms back behind the head, deep breath in. To prepare, exhale, chin to chest, reaching up, holding at the top, lengthen through the spine if we can from those sit bones, and then slowly place the spine back down. Bring the arms back behind the head, bring the foot down to the floor, take it out into full body stretch again, lift the spine up from the floor, get that stretch down the front of the body. Nice deep breath, stretch out across the rib cage. And then we're going to roll it up using those nice tight abdominals. So bringing the arms up towards the ceiling, anchor the shoulders down into the floor. If you wanted to pop a little bend into the knee there, you can do. Some people prefer. Take an inhale breath as we exhale. Chin comes towards the chest and we're going to start to peel the spine up from the floor. 1 vertebra at a time. If you need to use the elbow for a little bit of a shove, that's fine. I'll allow that. Sit it nice and tall at the top. Perfect, well done. And we're going to forward fold now. So leading with the chest, reaching down towards the feet. Feel that stretch into the back of the legs. And release. Well done. We're going to come into seated now. Do the other side of our glutes as well. Where's the time gone? So, into seated, legs out nice and wide. If you need to, stick a cushion underneath the bottom if we're a bit tight in the hamstrings, lower back. We're going to work soar. So the legs out comfortably wide, spine nice and tall. So again, imagine that piece of string pulling you up towards the ceiling. The arms are coming out level with the legs. We're going to take an inhale breath in the center. As we exhale, it's a rotation and then a reach. We try and soar off that little toe for 3 pulses, 2 and 3, and inhale it back to center, lengthening in the center. Exhale, twist and reach. 1, 2, 3, and bring it back to center. Try to keep both sit bones firmly anchored down into the floor, so we're getting that really nice stretch across the spine. And then inhale it back to center. That looks really nice. Exhale. Really exhale the breath on that pulse. Inhale it back to center. So it's a 3 exhale breath. 1. And inhale it back. So all the air goes out of the lungs. And inhale it back to center. Nice. Let's go for 2 more to each side. 2, 3. Bring it back. 1, 2, 3. And bring it back. Don't forget to lengthen in the center. And back. Last one. 1, 2, 3. And bring it back. And relax the arms down to the side. We're then going to bring the feet up onto the floor, keeping the legs out nice and wide. We're going to work a little bit of hip mobility now. So just bring the hands behind the body, fingers pointing away from you. So again, spine nice and tall, chest nice and proud. We're just going to roll the knees over in one direction and then roll back through the center in the other direction. Keeping that chest nice and proud, spine nice and tall. So that's level 1. Just getting a nice gentle stretch through the hip. Level 2, as the knees come over to one side, you can bring it the opposite arm, take it into a nice side bend stretch there as well. And then bring the arm back and through. So a really nice stretch of the body as well. Level 3, as the knees come down, we can come up onto that knee, pushing into that hip, so get a nice stretch down the front of the hip, and then control it all back down to the floor. Up and over. That's it, coming up. And reach, really stretching into the front of that hip. And then back down, back through. Really nice, flowy hip stretch. Let's go 2 more to each side. Taking it at your level, not everybody's got that mobility. Nice, lovely. That's it. Keep it going. Last one on each side. Nice and slow, nice and controlled. And last one. So really lengthening through that hip flexor there. Really lengthening through the side of the body. Bringing the bottom back down to the floor. Coming back down onto our bottoms. What we're doing now, left glute. So back into our all fours position. So wrists underneath shoulders, push the floor away with the hands. Spread the fingers as well so it's not all on the wrists. So we engage through the shoulders. We're going to, knees are underneath the hips, abs are on. We're going to lengthen through that left leg, keeping the hips square to the floor. Inhale, breath here. As we exhale, we're lifting the leg nice and slowly, squeezing through that left glute, being careful not to arch the back, holding it level with the body. So remember, it's that small movement first. As we exhale, we're just going to squeeze that left glute and inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze to just above hip level, and then leg comes back to hip level. So we're going to go for 6, 5, keeping those hips nice and still, 4, 3, 2, and last one, 1. Leg comes back, level with the body. Elbows are nice and soft. That right hip is directly over that right knee. We're going to bend 90 degrees on that left knee. Flex the ankle and ceiling push now. So we're going to exhale, squeeze the heel up towards the ceiling. Imagine we're balancing a cup of coffee on the sole of that left foot. We're going to go for 6, 5, 4, 3, nearly there, 2, and 1. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Knee comes back level, lengthen back out through that leg. We're going to then circle. So you might find on one side you've got a bit more control. This isn't my good side. It's more of a squiggle than a circle. So let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Circle it back in the opposite direction. 4, 3, 2. Hips stay nice and still. 1. Well done. Bring the knee back underneath the hip. Have a little sit back into the heels. Relax the forehead down to the floor. Give the wrists a little circle there if you like. And then we're going to come down to our right side to work left glute med in a sec. So we're going to start with our side planks. I know it's not everyone's favourite. So elbow underneath the shoulder, I forgot the word. And then we're going to start level 1 from the knees. So arm across the body. So really working this right side of the waist. Exhale, lift those hips up nice and high. We're holding for 4, 3, 2, 1. and bring it back down. So let's go through the levels with you. Exhale, level 2, we lengthen out through this left leg as well. Squeeze those hips up towards the ceiling. 4, 3, 2, 1, and control it back down. Level 3, full side plank, so that left leg in front of the right leg. Inhale, breath, shoulder away from the ears. We exhale, push, squeeze those hips up. Let's add that rotation if you like. So salute, and then square those shoulders off to the floor for 3, 2. Remember, you don't need to add this twist if it's too much. Just stay with a hold, and of course rest anytime you need to, and bring the hips down. So we're going for 3 more reps of that. Inhale, breath. Exhale, up. Arm level with the shoulder first. Salute. And twist if you like. 1. Keep that right shoulder nice and strong. 2. And 3. Elbow comes back. Hips come down. Whew, last 2. Deep breath in. Tough one today. Sorry, guys. Exhale. Anything with side planks is hard, isn't it? Salute. 1. 2. Oh, time. And 3. Elbow comes back. And bring the bottom back down. We need to do left glute now. So coming all the way down to our side. Head relaxed onto the hand. Feet in line with the bottom, so if we were on a brick wall behind us, feet will be there and spine will be there. Hips are stacked, one on top of the other. Core switched on, so slightly lift that waist up, fix those hips as we go into our climb. Just slowly opening and closing. Again, I've completely underestimated how long everything takes. I have to knock a few of those exercises I've got on my list down. So up and down, squeezing that glute. Let's take it into an elevated climb now. Open those hips up a little bit more. Lifting the feet up from the floor. Squeezing that leg open. Making sure those hips stay facing forward. Squeeze. Perfect. Squeeze. Last 3. 1. Keeping his hips nice and still. 2. Checking with the waist. Make sure that core's switched on. And last one. We're going to take it up. We're going to hold it at the top. Lengthening through the leg. Try and externally rotate a little bit more. So try and bring the kneecap and the top of the foot up towards the ceiling. And we're holding it here for 5. 4, really lengthen through that leg. 3, 2, 1. Feet come back together, knees come back together, bring those feet down. Shuffling knees up to hip level. We're doing that deadlift now, so again, hips are fixed, core's on. We're going to lift the knee and the foot just slightly higher than hip level and lower back down. Control it back down. Squeezing up. Just start feeling a little bit of heat in that left glute now. I gave you a nice stretchy one last week, so that makes it feel all right. Squeeze. Let's go for 3. Nice and controlled. 2, don't take it up too high. Slightly cheating. And 1. Knee comes to just above hip level. Check foot's on the same level as knee. We're going to work those little small horrible circles. Let's go for 4, 3, 2. All controlled from that glute. 1. Take it back, opposite way. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Well done. Bring the knees together. Give the bottom a good smack, punch, rub, whatever you need to. Bringing that arm out in front. Let's do it. That spine rotation. So shoulders stacked, hips stacked, arms out level with the shoulders, head and neck relaxed. Bringing the arm up, level with the shoulder, keeping the arm level with the collarbone and the shoulder. So we're really focusing on that rotation of that thoracic spine. So just bringing the shoulder blades close to the floor. Keep the gaze to that moving arm. Aim to get those shoulder blades as close to the floor as you can. That lovely rotation to the spine. Nice deep breath there. And as we exhale, engaging through the core as we bring the body back up, back over, bringing the hands together. Take an inhale breath as the hands are together. Exhale, slide that top hand along the floor, as far away as you can, and just relax into that one. And then bring the hands back together. Well done. Let's take it into our stretching now. So we're going to come down onto our fronts. I think the glutes need a good stretch out as well today. So hands underneath shoulders. We're going to straddle the mat with the feet. Relax, try to relax the bottom. Take an inhale breath. As we exhale, chest's nice and proud, shoulders down and back. We're going to push it up into our cobra stretch. So hips stay down on the floor for this one. Getting that stretch down the front of the body. Just hold it there. Try to keep the hips down on the floor for that one. And then we're going to slightly lower it down before we come up onto the knees, just to protect that lower back. So engaging through the core, come up onto the knees and sit back between the heels. Really lowering that upper body down into the floor. So nice wide leg child pose there. Nice deep breaths again. And then we're going to come up onto all fours. Let's work a nice pigeon stretch now. So bring the right knee up in between the hands and then bring the right foot across the left knee. It looks a bit like that, yeah. If we can get a nice stretch into that, so just walk that left leg as far back as we can and just lean into that right glute. And then if we've got the mobility, come down onto the elbows and just put a little bit of extra weight into that stretch. Really get a nice stretch into the bottom there. That's it. Nice deep breaths. And then pushing back up onto the hands, walk yourself back out of that one. Same on the other side. So left leg comes up, left foot goes over. If we can get an idea, the more over the foot can go, the deeper the stretch into the bottom. I know not everybody's got that mobility, I haven't. And then just walk that right leg away. Bring the elbows down if we can, and just leaning into that left glute. So I'm slightly overrunning, I'm nearly done, I promise. And then just walk yourself back out of that one, coming back onto our all fours again. Let's do some nice cat-cow stretches with the spine. So wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, keeping those elbows nice and soft. Take an inhale breath as we exhale. Chin comes towards the chest, tailbone tucks under. Imagine there's a hoist around the middle of the body, pulling you up towards the ceiling. Really squeeze the tummy in. Think length into the spine there. And then we're going to go back through neutral and beyond. So just dipping the spine down, gently squeezing the shoulder blades together. Take the gaze to the end of the mat so the neck stays in line with the spine. And let's go back into our cat stretch. So scoop up. Lovely. And then lowering down. A gentle squeeze those shoulder blades together, stick out the bottom, gaze to the end of the mat, and then back to neutral. So nice and long through the spine. Push the floor away with the hands. Toes are going to come underneath, and we're going to take it up into a little knee hover, and then we're going to roll the weight back, keeping a nice bent knee. Bring the head between the arms, push the floor away. Feel that stretch into the hamstrings, stretch down the spine. Couple of nice deep breaths there. And then just start to walk the hands back towards the feet. Transfer the weight back to the feet again. Back into our flop. So relax through the neck, relax through the arms. Keep the knees soft. Deep inhale breath as we exhale. Draw the tummy away from the thighs. Scooping up. Pushing into the spine as we roll back up nice and slowly. Restack the vertebrae. And then coming back to our neutral posture, so tailbones tucked under, roll those shoulders down and back.